welcome all to the November 2024 webinar from PSI Brand, partnered with our great friends across, I was going to say across the ditch, but it's a little further than that. From Hong Kong today, we're harking to our professional Mr. Tom Muldowney, an absolute guru in his field on all things surface coatings. So for those of you that know us, I hardly need to say too much more than, we're delighted again to meet up with you in this way. We always find webinars so effective, just being able to shoot this information anywhere in the world and not mess up your already busy day. But as you know, we're all about PSI Brand is all about branding for keeps and making that jobs just super easy for you. And where I guess we connect with Stone the best is through the Rotomoulding scene, really in our blood. What we do is made by Rotomoulders for Rotomolders. Tom could hark to a much wider scope than that in injection moulding as well, and many other factions. But essentially we're here to add value through our branding systems such as your logo, warning and safety, your track and traceability such as QR codes, barcodes, RFID, online training, masterclasses, and the mold surface coatings. So Tom, tell us a bit about yourself and what you bring to the table in terms of Stoner and your suite of products.
Thank you, Jim, for that introduction. So I'm Tom Muldowney. I'm coming to you this morning, my time, this afternoon, your time, from Hong Kong. And I'm going to take you through the Stoner Molding program for rotational molding and tell you a little bit about our company and the products we offer. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to take you through is our history because it's quite a unique one. And then all the different molding categories that we're in. We have products from, everything from molding castings for jet engines to golf clubs. Then we'll go specifically into the rotational molding process, and we'll share with you some case histories, both from the US and from the Asia Pacific region. So let's get into the history. So Stoner is obviously a very unusual name for a company. And we're named after this gentleman called Paul Stoner. He was born in 1914 and he grew up an orphan, yet he got a degree in chemical engineering, which at that time was very unusual. So Paul set up a business and people came to him with all kinds of issues they wanted solved in coatings, later plastics, and even car care. And so today we're in our third generation of family ownership, and we're in a very diverse molding business that we have a lot of expertise either through internally developed R&D products or product lines that we've acquired from companies as diverse as DuPont and 3M. Okay. So we make everything in-house, and we have a facility in Quarryville, Pennsylvania. It's about 2.5 hours by car west of New York City. And what makes us really unusual is from the early days, we decided to become really competent at manufacturing quality. So we started to join these different manufacturing contests for quality locally, in the state, in the region, and by 2003, we were the first small company ever to compete for the Malcolm Baldrige Quality Award, which companies like Boeing and Google have won, and it's given by the President of the United States. Now, what that means later is in 2019, we had to become ISO certified to sell some of our consumer products in Indonesia. And we were able to get ISO 9001 in 90 days because our systems are so buttoned down. Okay. And these are some of our early products. from 1948. We actually fill our own aerosols in-house, which is also quite unusual. And we offer molding solutions for injection molding, rotational molding, composites, which is also known as FRP, rubber, polyurethane, and investment castings. So let's get right into rotational molding. And this afternoon, I'm going to present a complete turnkey simple system for you. So the rotational system from Stoner begins with mold cleaning, and then a semi-permanent release, a surface enhancer, and then a product for mold protection. So let's start with cleaning. And we have a product called A538 that is a all-purpose water-based concentrated product that you can dilute with water, and it safely removes grease, oily dirt, grime, any kind of buildup that you get on the mold surfaces. And it's inexpensive, it's odor-free, and really effective. So it's water-based, there's no solvents. You can dilute it to whatever strength you need. It only takes about 10 minutes to clean a mold, and I'm going to show you how we do that in a second. And it pretty much takes any of the things on a mold that you're going to run into in the rotational molding process. It's going to clean them from the mold safely. So here's a couple of case histories. This first one was in Guangzhou in China, and the molds were covered with pigment. And we're being polite here when we said seldom clean the mold. I think when we went into this factory, they had never cleaned the mold. And when we showed them this product, it was like showing them fire, what it did for their process. So we took the product, we cut it down about 10-1, put it in a spray bottle. We sprayed it on. We wiped it off with a Scotch-Brite, and you could see that it completely restored the mold to like new condition. So that's the before and after. Okay. And then on the other side of the pond in Pennsylvania, very close to where Stoner's headquartered, we had a customer who had a lot of resin baked on their mold. And the challenge is that they were using a solvent-based cleaner, which was potentially carcinogenic. It also it was flammable. It had safety issues. And to be honest, it was quite slow. So we went in and showed them a better way. So here's another one in China that was using basically acetone and paint thinner to clean the products. They were extremely flammable, extremely suboptimal for the workers. And so they also changed to A538 to solve their problem. So it's really easy to use. You just put it in a spray bottle, cut it with water, and you can dial it in for how strong or how weak you need the product to be, and you just hit it with a Scotch-Brite, and there's the after. Okay. So let us show you what that looks like in action. So an extremely safe, cost-effective, and quick product to use. So the second part of the Stoner release system is our mold release. And our number one selling product is Trisis 420. And this is a really unique product because it's a water-based semi-permanent. And it's environmentally friendly. It has no dangerous solvents in it. It's long lasting. It makes multiple releases. In fact, many of the factories that use our product will apply it on Monday morning and run parts all week, and then strip it down on the weekend and then reapply it Monday morning again. It reaches pretty high temperatures of 260 degrees C, and it's an extremely clean product. There's very little mold buildup, and there's no transfer to the product. So the key applications for this is potable water tanks. It's been used successfully in Australia for many years in potable water tanks. Most of the rotationally molded kayaks around the world use Trisis 420. And now there's a lot more fuel tanks that are rotationally molded that depend on this product.
Perfect. Tom, I might just interject. We've just got a little question here. So, please feel free, guys, to pop any questions into the chat or the Q&A box there. Just a question about, is the cleaner A538 or is it A320? I think we showed both there.
That's a great question. It's known by both part numbers. So we have it both as A538 and A320. I'm not sure which one is stocked in New Zealand. But that's a good question.
We refer to it as the A538 in New Zealand and Australia. Yep. Thanks.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Gerard. Okay, so Trisis 420 is really a great product because it's better for people. It's much safer, much cleaner. It's not flammable, so you don't have to handle it in special ways or store it in special ways. You don't have to report to governments about it. It's also better for the mold because it makes the mold more durable. There's less buildup or discoloration, and it's really good at reducing plate out. And so it's pretty much an ideal water-based semi-permanent release. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of case studies, both in Asia Pacific and also in North America. So the first one was a rotational molder in Hebei in China, and they were applying the product. They were applying a solvent-based release made in Shanghai, and they were only getting 4 or 5 parts. They had tons of pock marks and pin holes on the part, and they were using it on cross-linked polyethylene oil tanks. So this is a picture of the part, and you can see it's a fairly complex part, and they changed to Trisis 420 because they were able to go from 4 to 5 parts to at least 30 parts and really run the tooling all week. And then it was actually almost 4 times more cost effective per tank than using their existing release. Okay, the second one is also in China, and this is it says making thermal boxes to transport COVID-19 vaccines. During COVID, China made a lot of vaccines and sold them to a lot of the developing world. And these were shipped in cooler boxes. And these boxes were rotationally molded. And so they were using solvent-based releases, and they were in a hurry to get them to market. So the product they were using, the release, was actually flammable and illegal, but they did it anyway because it was an emergency. And so the product they were using had a terrible odor, and the workers were complaining. And so it was actually made by Chemtrend, and they they wanted to get it out and get to something safer. So they tried 420. And so this became a huge business. And unfortunately, it didn't repeat as the COVID vaccines went away. But they were consuming so much 420 because it was odorless, safe for the fabricators. It kept the molds much cleaner. And it was actually 2 times more cost effective than the solvent-based product that it replaced. And those are some of the pictures of the different configurations of these cooler boxes.
Perfect. Thanks, Tom. Just want to interject just another question here. So the mention of a potable water tank on an earlier slide, is that referring to transfer units or potable?
So, potable water tanks, like where you store water, they're quite common. I'm not sure I heard the rest of the question.
Yep. No, that's answered it.
Yep.
That's good. Okay. Thanks so much.
Okay. Yeah, keep those questions coming. That's great. Okay, so we'll show you how easy this product is to use. And again, most people that put it in their system apply it at the beginning of the week and run parts with it all week long. It's really an elegant product. And that factory was in Pennsylvania. Okay, and so we have a whole series of Trice's products. So Trice's 500 is a higher temperature version of 420. It goes to 315 C or higher, and it's also solvent free, and it has all the same advantages of 420.
Perfect. Just one more question as well. We've got another question on the chat here. So, stripping down molds, presuming this is cleaning down with the cleaner mentioned in step 1.
Yeah, so we always recommend, for example, if you're going to switch from your existing process to the Stoner process, we recommend that you clean the molds first and then apply either the Trice's 420 or in this case the 500 to a clean mold.
Okay.
That answer the question?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's great. Thanks so much. Okay, yeah, just keep jamming the questions in the chat, guys. That's
awesome.
That's
great.
Okay, next slide.
Okay, so same advantages as 420, just 315 degrees C temperature resistant. Okay, and then we also have a product called P448, and this is also a water-based product, and it works on cross-linked polyurethane or polyethylene applications, and it's part of the rest of the Stoner system that we offer. And again, water-based, good for the environment, but we generally will start normally with the Trice's products first and then problem solve with the rest of our line. Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to Jim.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, on the surface enhancer, and I believe this is where we first met our match with Stoner back 3-4 years ago, pre-COVID times. So the surface enhancer has been around for over 10 years now. since we first offered it back in 2013, and it really came out of a demand from customers just wanting to find something that was more environmentally friendly and was obviously better on their health, and obviously still while retaining those popular mold flow capabilities. So this coating is essentially a polyethylene wax based emulsion that has got a bunch of stabilizers to help you coat your molds. It essentially facilitates the flow of polyolefins, nylon resins as well, and just to help to fill those hard to fill areas on rotational molds, such as around inserts, tight radii, threads and deep cavities, reducing that surface pinholing on parts. So super popular. As it says in the top there, it's rebranded as Rotoflow through the Stoner brand, and they sell that under that brand throughout USA and Europe. So for us down under, Australia and New Zealand, it's known as Enhance, and you can either source that in a 5-litre container as you're shown there, or we do have the aerosol available here as well. Brand is Rotoflow for New Zealand and Australia. So been a super popular product. We've never had to change it, and continues to create ripples or remove ripples in plastic parts around the world. So there, the typical advantages there, that it improves the product quality through the helping form in those hard form areas. Pinholes and voids are the most popular areas, but also blowouts where you're experiencing that. You get increased strength around inserts, so you actually get stronger formation around inserts, meaning that it's less likely to twist or deform. So ultimately reducing the scrap rate, increased productivity. Some kayak manufacturers actually will spray the underside of their hull up around where they have like the drink inserts and those sort of areas, just to help thicken and help form around those areas. So again, super healthy, no CFCs or HCFCs, far too many C's there, or any of those dangerous propellants or solvents that you typically would see. The next slide might just show. Oh, here goes. This is one of the products that you've featured over in stateside, hasn't it, Tom? Can you talk to this slide at all?
Of course, yeah. So this is a company in Pennsylvania, and they're making outdoor playground equipment. And they were having problems with pinholes and resin not flowing consistently into the corners. So they these are big, expensive pieces, and they had to reject a lot of them. And so we helped them with Rotoflow, and they sprayed it on, and they got much better finished parts. Let's go to the next one. So here you can see specifically, see those little pock marks and pin marks in the area, and then afterwards you get a perfect part. So it just flows out and molds properly. Okay. And this was a company in Wisconsin that was an automotive supplier, and they were making a hydraulic tank, and the inlet and outlets weren't forming properly, and so they were having to reject about 30% of their parts before we showed them Rotoflow. And then after using Rotoflow, they got quality parts again where they could use 100% of them. This is a case in California of a company that was making rotationally molding kayaks, and we have a big amount of that business around the world. But they were getting, surface irregularities on their kayaks, and they were unhappy with them. So we showed them Rotoflow. This is the before, and that's the after. Okay. So we'll show you a little video real quick. Okay, so that brings us to the last part of the Stoner system. Oh, okay, so the last step in the Stoner rotational molding process is mold protection. So we have a product called M520 Zip Slip, and this is a wonderful product to use on the flanges or the parting lines to eliminate pinholes, voids, or blowholes. And it's extremely easy to use, and it's very economical. Let's go to the next slide. So it'll eliminate resin buildup on the parting line. It'll enable you to get a tighter seal, reducing leaks, and it's going to save a lot of time on equipment maintenance and cleanup. Okay. So the first case was a rotational molder of those that outdoor playground equipment, and they were having a lot of resin buildup on the parting lines, and they couldn't get their molds to close properly in many cases, and so they really didn't have a solution, and we came and showed them 520. So they started using it, and they had completely eliminated any defects due to gaps or leaks because they got a perfect seal on the two sides of their mold. Okay, so I'll show you a quick film. We apply this generally with a paintbrush. Okay. So we have a quick summary video that ties together the complete system. Okay, and so now I think the team at PSI has something very special to offer you.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Thanks again for that, Tom. Just before we jump into our special offer, though, if it's okay, we might just hop into. We just got a few questions and answers, and if you got a few, if there are some more questions, by all means, please just pop them in that chat box. But we just got a question here around how the sort of release agents fit together, I suppose, in terms of a hierarchy. So 414, 715, and 500. Maybe do you want to just elaborate on that a little bit, Tom, as to how those three fellows go together?
Yeah, I think it depends on the system that you're using for rotational molding, whether it's closed or open flame. It depends on the temperatures that you're seeing and also the different resins that you're molding. By far, our most popular product to start with is normally 420. And then we have a complete system that's been built up over 30 years of other Trisus products, depending on what the process is.
Perfect.
And all of them are available now in Australia and New Zealand.
Great. Thanks for that, Tom. Just another question as well that we just had come through as well, just around stripping down the molds. So was that I guess I think the question here is should rotomolders be looking to sort of strip down molds weekly?
No, I don't think so. I think you know, anytime that you switch from an existing system to a new system, it's always good to clean the mold and get the old residue and the old release off of that mold. But when you switch to something like our Trisus system, the molds are going to stay extremely clean. And I would be surprised if you'd be cleaning the mold more than once every 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Because Trisus is a water-based, just really clean system with not a lot of buildup.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks for clarifying that as well, Tom. Much appreciated. So yeah, if there are any more questions, please do pop them in the chat or the Q&A box. We do have a very special offer for you, so I'll hand you over to Jim for that because he pays the bills. So he's the one that's conjured up the idea, and it's a great offer. So yeah, sorry, just one more question just before we head over as well. Can you say more as to open flame application as well, Tom? Can you sort of elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yes. Normally, our products are used in open flame, and normally people go for Trisus 500 in those applications. Unfortunately, in the film pieces that we had from the U.S., we didn't have an example of that to show you. But we can give you full technical support for all of that, and we have product data sheets and also experts on call that can help you dial in that system.
Okay, Tom, really going to put your numbers to the metal now as well. Just another question as well. Just with 414, 715, and 420. What is the tolerance on the operating temperature, and what is the degradation of the product up to 300 degrees Celsius?
I don't have the answer to that, but I can get you the answer in 24 hours by talking with one of our people in the States. At Stoner, we have an industry expert in every one of these molding industries. So Larry Whittemore, who's got 30 years experience in rotational molding, and he was the past chairman of ARM in the States, and he worked for 25 years for GE Plastics. He would be the best person to answer that because I don't want to give you a wrong answer.
Perfect. I really appreciate that, Tom. Much appreciated. Yeah, we'll get that question answered for you, Peter. No problem at all. Okay, so yeah, if you've got any more questions, please again feel free to pop them into the chat box. We're here to we're happy to stick around for as long as we need this afternoon or this morning. And but for now, I'll just hand over to Jim as well, just around our special offer.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Tom, and thank you for everyone attending. Always a pleasure to discuss all things Roto, particularly so with our friends at Stoner. But yeah, the offer that we are hanging our hats on this month is, well, there's two of them actually, but I'll start off with the fun one, which is what we call our Black Friday deal, which I believe is the 29th. So in keeping with our American friends, we're going to be offering a Black Friday deal, and that is the buy one, get one of the identical products for free. This is applicable to the Stoner range, complete Stoner and mold coating range, so includes the Enhance as well. And while stocks last, I was looking at a bit of history on Black Friday. They say it's often when retailers go from red to black. So let's hoping that's the case with all the rest of you as well. A deal like this is going to help you move forward faster with confidence. The second deal there is related largely around the branding side. So any of the graphics that we're offering, the setup costs completely free again for the whole month of November. So if there's something you're sitting on the fence about in the branding space, just reach out, and more than happy to get things swinging for you without any setup costs. I think that's pretty much it. Is any devil in the detail there, Sam? We can email it through anyway, just so it's there in everyone's inboxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so an email follow-up will come through either this afternoon or early tomorrow morning, just with a recording of the webinar, and I'll have the details of the offer and how to get it activated, bits and pieces. But yeah, it's a great offer.
Too good. With that, we can wrap it up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for joining. Thanks again, Tom, and yeah, thanks everyone. If you've got any further questions after the webinar, please feel free to just shoot them through. We're here to help.
Cool. I just did look at a little bit of technical data on that temperature release resistance, and it looks like the 420, 414, and 715 max out at 260 degrees Celsius, and the 500 series goes up to 315.
Okay, perfect. Too good. Good work. Well, thanks everyone again for a great webinar, and yeah, we look forward to following up.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yep. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.